Max was my boss. I was her assistant. I never really wanted to work at MI5, and obviously this wasn't MI5 because I'd never be able to speak about that. But safe to say, Max was powerful and influential. I can only imagine that it's a bit like working for the mafia, but not actually being part of a family. I mean, you'd hear all kinds of information that you really didn't want to hear, but then you do, and you really wish you hadn't. And you have to decide what to do with that information. I mean, the way that some people behave in this industry is shocking, and it drives some people to distraction. Can't stand the pressure. I used to find that the best way to deal with it was to pour myself a generous gin and to watch the Gilmore Girls. See, thing is, I got the job by mistake. I went along to the interview with my flatmate, Stella, to hold her hand, both metaphorically and literally. Her palm was so sweaty. Gross. But she bottled it. She knew about Max's reputation on the grapevine. It was her time, and she just fled. Or ran out of there faster than a model to a coke dealer. They said Stella, and I just got up and said hi. They didn't even bat a gorgeously coiffed eyelash. My interview wasn't actually with Max, but they filmed the interview for her. I was trying to be an actor, but failing miserably, and realised that the uncertainty of a business that we call show was getting a bit too much for me. So instead, when the call came, I just said yes. And before I knew it, I'd arrived, ready for my first day in the fashion industry. All was quiet, and I was sitting at my desk that was shaped like an idea of what furniture might look like. Oh, hi. You must be Stella. Well, actually, my name's... Max is ready to see you now. Don't look her directly in the eyes. And that was the moment that my life changed forever. From that moment on, my name was Stella. I mean, there was no way I could correct her, so that was that. I walked into her office. The walls were sleek, black, reflective surfaces. She was stroking a white cat. Not really. She wasn't a Bond villain. But she looked at me, beadily, and I felt my eyes lock with hers. But then I remembered you shouldn't look directly, but I couldn't help but look. I mean, you look at someone when they're talking to you, right? You don't look like a Stella, Max said. You look more like a Maisie. I'm going to call you Maisie. I didn't quite know how to take that. I mean, Maisie. Stella was strong, but Maisie. See, Max was what some people called a creative genius. In fact, it was her. Well, that's what she called herself. But there's something about the clothes that she created. I mean, she didn't make them. It wasn't like she cut the cloth and sat down at the sewing machine, but she had the ideas. And by ideas, I mean she'd draw a swoosh on a piece of paper, and that would be the line. It was all about lines. It was all about her empire. Her empire was mighty. And we were just the plebs, turning the cogs. You've never really experienced unrealistic expectations until you've been briefed by Max. I worked all hours of the day. There was no 9 to 5 with Max. Travelled all over the world with her and her entourage. Paris, Milan, New York. I thought it'd be exciting, but in fact I'd usually just be stuck in hotel rooms, making arrangements for Max's every last move to ensure that everything was choreographed down to the second. She would call in the middle of the night. Didn't get to see my family much. On the rare chance that I'd be on holiday, she'd call there, She'd be annoyed if I wasn't at my desk because I'd popped for a pee. I was stressed. Stopped eating because, I don't know, because I forgot or there wasn't time. And then my boyfriend left me because, well, didn't get to see me much. Things began to unravel like a badly sewn garment when it was a Netflix documentary made about Max and her empire. It was all anyone was talking about. I mean, Max was world famous, but also a total enigma. And then suddenly, everything was out in the open. The truth was out there, and it was the end of everything. You see, it turned out Max's garments weren't being made by couture workers in Paris. They were being made for 87 pence an hour in a sweatshop by children just around the back of Gare du Nord. She was a tyrant of the worst kind. Also turned out that I was her 7th assistant in 3 years. Ruin was quick to set in. I mean, orders started to plummet overnight. The empire was crumbling. The fall of Rome. Max disappeared. We'd thought she'd flown to the Maldives, where she had a mansion, but none of the staff out there had seen her. And she hadn't been spotted at any of the other 7 properties that she had internationally. I usually always knew Max's exact coordinates. For the first time in 3 years, I didn't know where she was. Felt weird. So, I was out of a job, but liberated. Liberated from the tyranny of the empire of Max. Now I squirt perfume at rich people and Harvey Nicks. I'm in a lovely relationship with a cute guy called Daniel. Hates it if I call him Dan or Danny. So I do. All the time. And life is so quiet. But Max is always there. In my dreams. In my nightmares.